What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Bit Heroes. So I apologise for the lack of uploads recently. I was away on my honeymoon for 3 weeks, but I am back and ready to go. Also, I've added my face cam, so hello. For anyone that didn't know what I looked like, this is me. And let's get down to it. So today is Monday, which gives us 30% experience and 30% capture rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a few of the Raid 2. I think it's Raid 2. I'll have to double check to try and get a familiar I need for Fusion. But I thought we would also just do a few Raid 5 heroics now that I can do it semi-reliably, and hopefully we can get some gear out of that as well. Now, while I was away, a few things did happen. I did manage to go to the crafting menu, and I did trade down here into these legendary lesser runes. And in doing that, I got my full sets of item find, and I've got full sets of experience and full sets of capture rate. Luckily, I didn't get any of the gold find. I did get a few doubles of experience and stuff, which I just traded in to get the materials to make these. But I basically have full item find, full capture rate, and full experience lesser runes, which is awesome. And I highly recommend you guys do this as soon as you can. Obviously the legendaries cost quite a bit, so maybe, you know, just upgrade them gradually from common to rare, etc, etc. But having the full item find is awesome for days like Sunday, and having the full capture rate is awesome for days like Thursday or today, for example. But for now, let us get stuck in to the raids. So we're going to do Raid 5 Heroic, and I was running around with this team, which is awesome, and it's very, very safe. So we have two tanks up here. Revving up with Pavu. Pavu recently added me, which is amazing. I'm not sure what I did to deserve that, but thank you, sir, if you're watching. And then we've got Dustwalker and Eagle Wars here, who are like bait off tanks type thing. This is a super safe setup because it's 2 tanks, 2 off tanks, and then me in the middle. But it does take a while, actually, because they're tanks, right? They don't have the full DPS gear, runes and enchants and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and getting rid of Eagle and putting in Chaos, who is much more of a DPS machine, and that should speed things up, and we should still be fine. So we're at 15, nearly 15, what's that, 15,237, so 15 and a quarter, I'll say, 1,000 total team score, and let's give it a go. So I'll just auto it for the most part, unless we run into some trouble. The only trouble I seem to have these days with Raid 5, apart from Steam just being the laggiest thing, I don't know why this game on Steam is this shit. I just don't know. On my phone and iPad and stuff, it runs fine, no FPS issues whatsoever, but as soon as I play on Steam, it's not actually recording my FPS, which it should be. I've got a little FPS counter up in my top left corner of my screen, but it's not actually recording it, which is a bit odd. It should be. But we're stuck at like 15 FPS right now, and I don't know why that's the case. So I might try playing it on browser, on like Congregate's actual website, and that might speed things up a bit. But yeah, I really, really don't know why it struggles so hard on Steam. And I've done Google searches and looked through forums and stuff, and everyone's just like, yeah, the Steam port is trash. Like, it's just the lag issues and stuff are horrible. So it's not just me, as it turns out. So I apologize for that. Maybe, as I said, I'll try and play it on browser next time, which I haven't actually done before. So we'll see how that goes. So maybe we'll just do the one Raid 5 Heroic, right? Because this raid obviously takes the longest because it's the hardest, and these guys, you know, take more time to kill and everything because of them being hard, and with the lag and FPS shitting the bed and everything, it's going to take a while to get through mobs, and the harder the mobs, the longer it's going to take. So we'll do one R5 Heroic, hopefully we get a drop, but knowing this game, probably not. And then we will go to Raid 2, and maybe do a few Raid 2s on Heroic, which shouldn't take very long at all. And we'll swap over our minor runes to the capture rate, and that'll be 30% from the daily, and then 40% from our runes, making 70% capture rate. Hopefully that will be enough to snag what we need. We need a Driffin, which is one of the rare fams in Raid 2. And once we catch him, we can fuse Welcome, I think it is. So right now I can fuse... I can't remember who it is actually, but I've got a few legendary fusions where I just need one more fam to create a few of them. So I was going to catch everything and then make like a video fusing quite a few legendary familiars all at once. Because I don't actually need them. I'm still running with Bobodom and Wembo for my trials and Gauntlet and things like that. So I don't really need these leg fams. So I'll just wait until I have a few of them ready to go and then make a video fusing them all. And seeing how many friends requests we get from that, and how many comments we get from people on our friends list and guild, because no doubt they just see like, Chook has fused this, Chook has fused this, Chook has fused this. They'll be like, the hell are you doing, man? Why do this all at once? So that should be fairly entertaining. But for now, we will focus on this raid and see how we go, and whether adding in Chaos instead of Eagle will be just as safe, and whether it's quicker. It's hard to say whether it will be quicker because of the FPS issues we've talked about. If it was on my phone, I could definitely tell whether it was quicker or not, but it should be, because instead of being a bait tank, like off tank, he's just pure DPS. And he's got a bit of quad strike as well between his weapon and this new mount, which I'm not sold on personally. I know there's kind of a division in the community at the moment with this new mount. Some people love it, some people don't. And it's worth 6,000 gems. I would say if you're going to pay to win, or you're not so much pay to win, but you're willing to spend some money on the game, and you're new, it's probably a really good idea, because you skip the grinding and farming each week, and doing really well in all the PvP events and trial events and all the rest of it to get the mount guts, because mount guts don't come very easily. It takes a while to actually get them and save them up to 1,000 to get a legendary mount. You pay 6k gems, you get a legendary mount straight away, and you skip that whole step of how many weeks or a month or more or whatever it be to get 1,000 mount guts. So in that aspect, it's really good. And then you can use the mount guts that you had saved that whole time to upgrade it. So in that sense, I think he's pretty good. But the quad strike, although it's an amazing ability, you hit 4 times, which is, I love, and I think I've mentioned it more than enough times, that I absolutely love dual strike, and I've spec'd into dual strike as much as I can. So quad strike is basically double dual strike, which is awesome. But it's only 1%. So you think about 1% is, you can't get much lower than 1%, right? So between that and if you have the weapon as well, you can get up to 2% quad strike. I'm not sure if there's enchants and things like that that have quad strike on them yet. There may be, I'm not too sure. Either way, you're going to have a very, very low percentage chance of hitting that quad strike, which means that for majority of the time, it's not really being utilized, and it's kind of like a wasted stat. And when it does go off, obviously it's going to hit like an absolute freight train of trucks, but it's not going to go off very, very often. Whereas dual strike, you can get an accessory with 20% dual strike, or the one I've got is an epic, and it's 15%, and I've upgraded it 3 times to get to 18%. I've got quite a few runes and enchants with dual strike. I think my dual strike's up around the 21% somewhere. So that's like a fifth of the time that I'm attacking, hypothetically at least, percentage-wise, that I will get a dual strike proc, compared to like a 1 or 2% chance of getting a quad strike proc. So I would say dual strike is way better as far as consistent DPS, because it will proc more often. But the quad strike is well and truly out above, on top for that burst damage potential. So, oh, there we go. I know Pound was looking for Squibbo schematics, so if you're watching this, sir, congrats, because I know you've been farming that up for a while, and you've been telling me a few times, why can't I get it, why can't I get it? Well, you just got it, so congrats. But yeah, quad strike, you hit 4 times, the burst on that in PvP or something, you could just take out one of the opposition's fams or the opposition himself in one hit. Is crazy. But it just doesn't have a high enough proc rate for me to like it. But that was a bit of a tangent. So I would say if you're new to the game, you're a lower level and you're trying to save up the mount guts and everything, and you don't mind spending 6k gems, then it's worth it just for that. But other than that, you know, it's alright. It does look cool though. So there's that. But it is unique, so you can't re-roll that 1% quad strike. That it's just that forever. So anyway, getting back to the raid. We're looking pretty good. We were getting a little bit low there, but there was that health shrine that I let Auto take over and take for me, which was a good timing actually, because we were a little bit hurt. It's definitely not as safe without Eagle in here, but running the 4 tanks just takes a long time, as I mentioned. So, the boss should be here soon. I did get the Zolabi, I think it's called, schematic yesterday, which is Zol, which is the boss of Raid 5, and Bully, which is the unique, really rare familiar that shows up in Raid 3, I want to say. Yeah, Raid 3. So I did get the schematic for that, but I do not have either of the familiars, which is unfortunate. But he ends up being the fusion is a quite high stamina tank with 40% block. So it's like an upgraded version of Oxelroth, which is a 40% block, but it doesn't have the high stamina. So I do have 2 Astaroths, but I don't have a Bully to make Astali or an Oxler to make Oxelroth. So if I can get either of them, I can create another fusion there, and I would actually use that in replacement of Bobodom. But I don't have either. Alright, so this is the only time that I really fail R5, and I've just noticed, so I've put it onto manual, is when the partner of the boss is these twin bot things, because these guys hit like an absolute truck. So we want to get rid of them as soon as we possibly can. I'm going to forego all of my healing spells and stuff, just to try and get them down as soon as possible. Once they're down, we're pretty much home. And we'll keep trying to get him down. No one's super low yet. Rev me up, can come back, get healed up from this quite efficiently between pet procs and the healing spells from these guys. But I am foregoing those healing spells, so if he gets a little bit lower, I'll chuck him a potion. But for now, should be fine. And see if we can get him down fairly soon. See, he's healed up a little bit there. Got his shields back, so I could also just auto attack effectively. Oh, okay, there's a heal. there's a big heal. Done. I could also auto attack with who is this? This is Pavu to get up to the spider. So the 2 SP, and that would take this guy out pretty much with this amount of health. But he's almost dead, so I may as well just... Well, there you go, we got the crit and he's dead anyway. Back to auto, and we'll finish this off fairly easily. Dustwalker at the back sometimes goes down because he is quite low health because he's a bait tank. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case here. I might actually swap these 2. And almost done. Come on, give me like a mythic or something. That'd be good. And nothing. As is the case. I did get a drop yesterday, actually, and that schematic I was talking about, so I can't be too upset. A drop, you know, once a week is nice, really, at this stage. Free to play. Alright, so we've done that. That went fairly well. So now, I'll just show you the familiars, what I was talking about. We have... this is the Zovilby. Zovilby. They've got stupid names, man. Which is Bully from Raid 3, as I was talking about, and Zol. So I don't have any of them. We're not going to be able to fuse them anytime soon. Welcome is the one that I can almost fuse. All I need is the Driffin. So I can mix the Driffin with Warty and make Waffen. and then I can fuse the old Walkham here, which is cool, and get myself another healer, which is nice. And then if we keep going down, I can also fuse right now Rimroid, that's the one. Rimroid, I don't know, however you want to say it. I can fuse him right now, but like I was saying, I'm keeping them so I can fuse quite a few things in one video and get that done. Here is the Bully. If I have Bully, I can fuse a Starly here, which is quite a high stamina tank with 12% deflect chance. And then I can also, if I get another Warfin, and I get one Jeb, I think it is, I can fuse another Wembo, but I'm going to use that Warfin here to fuse Walkham up the top. Unfortunately, it's the same fan for both of these, so what can you do? And then last is the Oxlar. If I get Oxlar, I can fuse with Astaroth to make Oxelroth. So you can see here that he's got 900 stamina, but 40% block chance. If we go back up here, we can see that Zolvi has 1135 stamina with 40% block chance. So it's kind of like a better version, effectively. Unfortunately, I don't have either of them, whereas down there I did have the Astaroth. So if I do get that Oxlar, I will fuse it for sure. Alright, so if that's the case, let us do a Raid 2 and hope for the... oh, first of all, we need to change our runes and hope for the Warfin to show up. So we go from our item find, and we put in our capture rate. And so we have 20%, 20% equaling 40, plus the 30 from here equaling 70, and that should show in our info. 70% capture rate. Done. Let's do it. And this will be a breeze. We won't need to worry about this at all. Gonna put my hands in my pocket because I just came back from Bali, which was like 30 to 35 degrees every day, back to Melbourne. And when I arrived yesterday in the airport, it was 5 degrees. So coming from like 30 to 35 degrees with like 487,000% humidity to a very, very, very chilly 5 degrees Celsius in Melbourne was a bit of a shock. So I'm still getting used to the cold, but I love the cold. So I'm quite happy to be back for that, actually. Not gonna lie. I do love myself some winter. So this, is he in here? This is the dude, well, the dude that just died at the back in like one hit. He's the one we need. And I think I've actually done a video hunting him before, but we didn't get him. I think that's when I had like the 270% capture rate or something, and we didn't get anything. So that was unfortunate. But I think I might do this each week, right? I might do a video on... Today's Monday, as we saw from the bonuses, but I might do a video on a Thursday with the capture rate bonus, and I might just do like 2 or 3 raids of raid 1, 2 or 3 or whatever it is that we need the fams for with the bonuses. And then I might do a video on a Sunday and do 1 or 2 raid 5 heroics as well, and maybe do them as like weekly videos. Because a lot of you guys have said to me, oh dude, why don't you make more videos? Why don't you make more videos? So I originally made the free-to-play 10-part series, you know, guide videos, and they were widely successful, and everyone has thanked me a million times for doing them, and I'm really glad that that I was able to help people for that. But I thought maybe like just daily videos, you know, gameplay and stuff would be a little bit boring, because it is that kind of grindy, farmy kind of game where it's somewhat repetitive and everything. But a lot of you have asked me to just do gameplay videos and stuff. So I will trial that. I'll do some videos on some capture videos on Thursday, familiar capture videos on Thursday, and then some Raid 5 heroic videos on a Sunday, if I can, if I'm free, that is, and throw them out like once a week and see how they go. If they're popular, I'll keep doing them. If they're not, I'll think of something else. But if that sounds interesting to you, let me know if you would like to see like a regular series of capture rate and heroic item find videos, and I will do my best. And hopefully I can find maybe the Congregate website or something, and it's not as laggy. Although in here it's not laggy at all. It was only Raid 5 that was laggy, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. Maybe the attacks had more particle effects or something. But this is running smooth. Like, there's no problems here whatsoever. So it's interesting. But I'll give the browser version a shot anyway, and see if it's quite easy to do. Okay, so that's one down. So much quicker, man. We'll have another one. Maybe we'll do 3, right? And that should take this video to around the 25-minute mark or so, I would say. Maybe a little bit longer. The unnecessary shrines. I used to have the option in the in the settings options, I guess, of ignoring shrines. But then they just like stand there, and it's a bit awkward. So I just like let them take it, because it doesn't really make much of a difference, really. Okay, yeah. I mean, the FPS goes down a little bit. Went down to 20 there, but it's not that much of an issue. But R5 for some reason just lags like crazy. So I've been trying to get this Driffin since before I went away, actually. So probably like a month. Lucky dude. And just can't seem to get him. But the purple dude with the axe, this dude just keeps showing up for persuasion. And I've caught him a few times. But the Driffin has only ever come up once, and I didn't get it. And the other guy, the kind of deer-looking dude with the 4 legs, what are they called? Centaurs? The centaur kind of guy, has only shown up once as well, I think. But the purple axe dude has shown up like 5 or 6 times, so just luck of the draw, I guess. This is the one I was talking about. So you'll notice as well that, actually, does it show up in here? It doesn't. I do have like 2,500 gems. And the reason for that is that I want 1,600 gems, 1,600 gems, whatever, so that when the Oxler or the Bully or the whatever it is shows up, that I can just, I can bribe it for 100% with the gems, so that, because it's such a rare chance of those familiars showing up in the raid itself, and then if it does show up and it comes up for persuasion, like, that's a really, really ultra rare thing to happen. So I don't want to waste that opportunity by trying with gold and not getting it. So I thought I'll save up my 1,600 gems, and then that way if it shows up, I know I've definitely got it, and then I can definitely fuse one of the familiars that I want, one of the tank familiars that I want. So that's fine. And then I was saving for a defensive pet egg, and I needed 850 gems on top of that, which ends up being 2,450. And I should have that now. So if that's the case, I think they're on sale today. We may end this video by buying one of them and see what we get, because my luck, or lack thereof, with pet eggs and accessory boxes is like infamous amongst friends on here. Like, I'm just so unlucky with them. It's crazy. I recently just got this like about a month ago, just before I left for my honeymoon, and that was crazy because like up until then I've got absolute bubkiss. So we've got 2,500 exactly, and we do have a high for defensive pet egg here, so we can get any of these. And to be fair, I do have a epic pet, but it is Waldo, which is chance to heal when you get hit, and that is useless for a DPS, really good for a tank. I'm not a tank, therefore it's kind of a useless pet. So I did get an epic pet, but it was when I got hit, not when I hit an enemy or per turn, so it just ended up being super unlucky. But let's do it. Let's buy a hyper defensive pet egg. We're guaranteed to get at least one rare. My guess is we will get, let's go with the banana, and then 4 of these green shitty ones. Here we go. Nope, we got we got the blue thing and 4 green shitty ones. And that's my luck. Every single one I buy, that's what I get. I never get anything better than that, apart from that one time I got Waldo. So there we go. Either way, we'll leave it there. We've gone for about 25 minutes. That is probably enough. But yeah, let me know if you would like to see the Thursday and Sunday videos as I mentioned. But other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.